I rise to speak in the committee stage of this bill on Clause 6 for a number of reasons. First and foremost, because I worked at a university. I know what a university student union does, and I come to value it greatly. The second reason I want to speak on this is because I went to EIT, which is the Hawke's Bay Polytech, and I spoke to the students about this. I spoke to the students about 229A, which says no student or prospective student at an institution is required to be a member of the Student Association. And you know what they said to me? They said to me at EIT that we will cease to exist. EIT Student Union will cease to exist if this goes through. And the level of pastoral care that the student union provides is immense. This is like an insurance policy. To me, this is like an insurance policy. Canterbury aside, I don't know anyone whose house has been burnt down. But every person I know who owns a house has insurance. And this is what a student union is. Yeah. The vast majority of students don't use the student union. They don't require the pastoral care. But others do. Making this voluntary will destroy the lives of students. Because we've got to remember that a lot of students are leaving home for the first time. They're facing a whole lot of pressures that they wouldn't normally face and they haven't faced before. That's right. And now they will. And now they will face these pressures. And you know what? You've taken away that safety net. You've taken away that pastoral care, and these students will fail. And you know what? The government measures institutions on how many students pass. They measure that, and this will ruin those statistics. But the other thing I would like to talk about is 229C, about complaints. And it talks about lodging complaints if a student or prospective student who on reasonable grounds considers that any person has exerted undue influence may lodge a complaint with the council of the institution. And 229C talks about that whole process and about the university council. Now, anyone who knows about a university council or a polytech council will know the amount of work those people have to go through. It is an immense amount of work. These are people, it's like a board. It is an immense amount of work. These are highly skilled people who are time constrained. They are sitting on a university or polytech council basically out of the goodness of their heart, but also because they believe in the value of that institution. You tie up a university council with the numerous complaints of this nature, and I'll tell you what, you will lose. Institutions will lose.
Point of order, Joe Goodhue.
Mr. Chair, I was just wondering when perhaps you being brought into the debate might be recognised by
Member's quite right. The member's quite right. Order. I'm on my feet. Member will be silent. Point of order is quite correct. The member should not bring the chair into the debate. Call Stuart Nash.
Institutions will lose council members because the council members that sit on the boards of polytechs and universities will say, I can't be bothered with this. I cannot be bothered with this. I came here to help with the governance of this university. I came here to help with the governance of this polytech. And I'm spending 50% of my time, because this is what this bill says, 50% of my time dealing with complaints from students. This is not what a university or a polytech council is for. And yet, a huge chunk of this bill, 229C, complaints, relates to how councils are going to have to hear complaints from students who believe on reasonable grounds that they have exerted undue influence. That is a waste of time. So, Mr. Chair, what we have got here is a bill that takes away any level of pastoral care that students provide to their peers. And also what it does is it takes away, I believe, the ability of very good people to sit on university and polytech councils. This complaints process is actually quite onerous. What I think this complaints process will do under 229C is actually dissuade people from complaining. In fact, this bill will become a bit of a nothing. Have you read this? What a student has to go through? They have to lodge a complaint, a written complaint on reasonable grounds. It has to go to a university board, which sits about once a month. There's going to be a whole stack of them, maybe 10, 12, 20, and then they're going to have to decide. And you know what? Every student that lodges a complaint has the ability to be represented.
I call Louise Upston.
I move that the question be now put.
I think it's time for the question to be put to the test of the House. The question is that the question be now put. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary opinion, no. No. The ayes have it. Noes have it. Party vote is called for. Clerk, please conduct the party vote.
New Zealand National.
58 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
41 votes opposed.
Green Party.
9 opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
5 in favour.
Maori Party.
4 against.
Progressive.
1 opposed.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
On Chris Carter.
1 opposed.
Hone Harawira.
1 opposed.
Members, the ayes are 64, the noes are 57. The question will be put. Before I put the question, there are a number of amendments. The first is in the name of Grant Robertson. It's an amendment to a new section 229A regarding a nationwide referendum in 2011, as set out on SOP 191. This amendment is out of order as being inconsistent with the principles of the bill. I refer the member to Standing Order 292.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Point of order, Grant Robertson.
Mr. Chair, this amendment was lodged and has been on the table for some time. It does not do anything to the fundamental purpose of the bill. It simply adds to that clause. I simply find it incomprehensible that could be ruled out of order when it was accepted by the clerk some time ago and has sat on the table for some time within that SOP. I simply don't understand at all, Mr. Chair, how a ruling like that could be made.
Well, can I say to the member, firstly, just because the amendment has been tabled doesn't mean to say it's been accepted. The fact that it's sat on the table all this time and the member hasn't had any report back on it, there's no requirement for that. The process in this House is that amendments are put on the table, and when they come to be put, the Chair makes a decision on whether they're accepted or rejected. So let's deal with the process. There is no other process other than that, never has been, and I doubt that we'll ever see a change in the process. The second element is that it's the judgment of the Chair, on the advice of the clerk, that the amendment is inconsistent with the principles of the bill. Now, that's the ruling, and I regret to advise the member that there's no appeal authority on this. There's no other jurisdiction. Correspondence won't be entered into. That's the end of the matter, and the amendment is ruled out. Cool. Point of order, Chris Hipkins.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, my question with regard to the ruling that you've made on this clause is what role precedent plays in a decision such as this. And I refer you particularly to an almost identical bill to the one that we're currently debating, which was voted on in this Parliament in either 1997 or 1998. The original bill was almost identical. An amendment almost identical to the one of Mr. Robertson was accepted by the then chairperson of the House. I wasn't around at the time, so I wasn't involved. But there is a precedent that was deemed to be within the scope of the bill. The ruling that you are now making is inconsistent with that. And so I'm asking you, sir, what role precedent plays in a decision such as yours to make such a ruling?
Well, two things. Could I say to the member, as a wiser man than me, the Honourable David Long, he said one time, consistency is the last refuge of a fool. But having said that, the point is that this is a new bill, a new day, and I have made the ruling. And I want to say to the member, I've made the ruling, it's out of order, and I'm not going to go back to it. And the member's point of order is seeking to challenge that ruling. The matter's closed. I now refer members to the second amendment. That's in the name of Gareth Hughes. Amendment to new section 229A regarding membership option on enrolment form set out on SOP number 205. Members who support that amendment will say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. The noes have it. Party vote is called for. Clerk, conduct the party vote, please.
New Zealand National.
58 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
41 votes in favour.
Green Party.
9 votes in favour.
ACT New Zealand.
5 votes opposed.
Maori Party. Progressive.
1 vote in favour.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
On Chris Carter.
1 vote in favour.
Hone Harawira.
1 vote in favour.
Members, the ayes are 57, the noes are 64. The amendment is not agreed to. The next amendment is in the name of Grant Robertson. It's an amendment to insert a new section 229AB regarding a mandated referendum as set out on SOP number 191. This amendment is ruled out of order as being inconsistent with the principles of the bill. I refer the member to Standing Order 292. Grant Robertson's amendment to insert a new section 229AB regarding a student-initiated referendum set out on SOP number 191. This amendment is ruled out of order as being inconsistent with the principles of the bill, and I refer the members again to Standing Order number 292. Gareth Hughes' amendment is the next to be considered. This is to insert a new 229AB regarding a student referendum as set out on SOP number 205. This amendment is ruled out of order as being inconsistent with the principles of the bill Standing Order 292. The next amendment is in the name of the Honourable Darren Hughes, a typescript amendment to omit and substitute new section 229B. Those members who support that amendment will say aye. The contrary will say no. The noes have it. Party vote is called for. Clerk, please conduct the party vote.
New Zealand National.
58 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
41 votes in favour.
Green Party.
9 votes in favour.
ACT New Zealand.
5 votes opposed.
Maori Party. Progressive.
1 vote in favour.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
On Chris Carter.
1 vote in favour.
Hone Harawira.
1 vote in favour.
Members, the ayes are 57, the noes are 64. The amendment is not agreed to.